You know, it's really simple when we look for clarity from an open, free space. It's so easy, like when we really get it, that when we want to be clear, create space. Create space from the habitual tendencies, the loaded, conditioned way to see. Create space. And seeing happens by itself. This year, this was a big sentence that came like bang right in front of me one day when you know, I'm not, since so many years, I'm not used to living in a way 24/7 with another being, yeah? And I had that experience, and all of a sudden started to become like, wow, there's no space in here, you know, there's no space, wow, there's no space. And then confusion, and I was not used to that, you know. And then we took some space, and then I started to open up again as existence, you know, instead of being filled up with the somebody views and opinions and answers that come to answer the other, and like the call of being in constant relating is calling up the somebody which has its personal view and all its thing, and this was being switched on all the time. And the experience that started to show up in my system was, where's all the space gone? You know, like this wide open free space, something is missing. And so we took some space, and just in a few days of just not following thought and not trying to figure anything out, and just opening up into the moment, the mind by itself started to unwind. Just unwinding, you know. Just like there's nobody being called up to answer every thing. So just start unwinding, and then wow, big open space opening up, and then clear seeing just coming like full power. And in that I could see that I'm doing nothing for this. I'm doing nothing for clarity. It comes by itself. When I'm not there with a patterned way of so this big sentence came in the sky, you know, the sky that is myself, came like, just all anybody ever needs is space. Space, not only outer space from so-called others, but inner space from the thoughts about other, right? Because this noise is the same as the world. Yeah, so create space and seeing happens. It's really that simple. If you don't have, and also what came to me so strong, like, wow, the highest value is really walking in free beingness. You know, my being walks where it walks, when it walks, goes where it goes, does what it does, in this like free being. The being is free to move as it moves, you know? Free beingness, which is what you just spoke of. Finally, after not having to be the mother to the children and take care of every one of their needs, finally you got your own space back just to be and to move, right? And this is like, wow, I just don't want to give that up for anything, you know? Because it's like the spacious living. Of course, I live with appointments like all of you, you know. I have also a schedule, I have a plane to catch, I have dates to meet, I have all of that. It doesn't mean that you're never going to have a calendar and a time and a thing. All that is still happening, yet the way of being, the way of giving the freedom of being to move where it moves, eat when it eats, what it wants to eat, without needing to discuss every bit of time and what time shall we eat, what shall we eat, where shall we eat. All of that, just like filling up this amazing wide open free space. And these things just came really like simple, so simple qualities of being that end up being the highest value. When you meet beings that have lived through life like what you just described, finally, after all of that, you got your life back, right? And you're like, wow. But had you had that when you were however many years ago, could you have appreciated it?
Yes, I did very much.
You did?
Yes. I loved it.
You loved it?
I thought it was so incredibly interesting that 5 human beings can be so different. And then I was allowed to follow them. And
this was not what I meant. I meant that before you had these 5 beautiful human amazing beings, yeah. This free beingness of your nature, could you recognize it?
Before I got the children, you mean?
Yeah, the thing you are recognizing now, the value of your own freedom.
I couldn't really appreciate it.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I can do this now.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right? Not everybody can appreciate this, and these are like qualities of maturity that sometimes take us a lifetime just to value this simplicity. You know, the simplicity of just being able to walk where you walk. And I don't see myself, you know, you can call it whatever, you can call it selfish, and I don't mind being 100% true selfish, right? But I don't see myself ever being able to be in any kind of relating where that has to be compromised, where I cannot move in this free beingness. And this is like a new way to relate in this world. You know, people are not used to that. They don't, that's not the habitual thing. The conditioning is coming to be really looked at. It's like a straitjacket. We are conditioned to play in a way that, and that's all what loads up our view, you know? Anyway, would you like to come?